Hello friends! It's time. It's time for another 1 week 1 skein challenge. Technically, I could probably push it off till next week based on where I have the video planned to publish in my calendar, but I'm waiting on some special yarn to get here for a special project. Wink wink. And while I'm waiting, I figured I will have just about a week, and it's the perfect time to bring out my mug. So I'm like trying to not get myself involved in another big project that might be a lingering whip. So I'm figuring if I can do a 1 week 1 skein challenge, I can get a new cast on, get myself something fun to work on, but it has a deadline and will probably be over quickly. And then as soon as my new yarn arrives, I can't wait for you to see it. Then I can get casting on with that. But you're not gonna be able to see it for a little while. I'm sorry. I can't help talking about it, but I can't talk about it, but I want to talk about it. I'm so excited and I can't wait for you to see it, but you're just gonna have to hold on. Sorry. Okay, anyway, let's pull out of my mug. So this, we might be cheating a little bit this time around, okay? I kind of want to make sure I work with DK this time. I'm just really, I'm feeling it. I just feel like I need to work with the DK skein. I want to get one of them out. I want something about the average yardage of a DK skein versus the average yardage of a fingering weight skein is really calling to me with the stuff that I've got going on in this coming week. We have a long weekend. My husband and I are both taking tomorrow off. Today is March 28th. Tomorrow is Good Friday for those that celebrate. We don't, but we're still taking it off. And we have like birthday parties this weekend. We have like a bunch of stuff going on in the next week. And I just feel, I don't know, I don't need to explain it to you. I don't need to justify this. I feel like working with DK. So basically, I'm going to keep pulling out stuff until I get a DK skein. We're just gonna go with that, okay? It's my rules. I can do whatever I want. My challenge, my rules. Here we go. Okay, watch me, like after doing that whole spiel, like let me pull out a DK skein first thing and then I won't have even had to explain this to you. Okay, here we go. Let's see. So I learned last time that I absolutely cannot get what I wrote down to focus on the screen, so I'm just gonna read it. I'm not gonna try and show it to you because it's embarrassing watching myself try to get that to focus, and we're just gonna read it and see what happens. Nope. It says Mad Tosh SS18. That is a fingering weight skein. Putting this to the side just for right now so that I can pick another one. Sorry, maybe I'll, depending on how long this goes, I will speed this up for you so that you don't have to sit here and watch me pick out all these skeins. Nope, Yarnable, the Raven. Although I did want to make something with that. No, I didn't. I wanted to make something with the Raven that was held double, but I want to turn it into a design and I don't have the brain for that right now. Yarnable Spellbound, fingering weight. Okay. I feel like I need some kind of like silly music to go over this because it's gonna take a while. Ken Yarn Pickled Carrot. Let me know which of these that I picked out you wish I had worked with. maybe we can see, like, maybe next time instead of picking one out, I will pick one of the ones that I picked and skipped and work with that. Sorella Coffee. There's a significantly larger amount of fingering weight skeins in here than DK, but I do have like 5, I think, DK weight skeins. Beachy Breeze Fibers, Snow-Capped Mountains. I feel so bad. Watch, I'm gonna pick, there's literally one DK skein that I don't really want to work with right now. I'm probably gonna pick that one first. I didn't! Okay, this says the Little Wolf Knits Blue Misfit. I have no idea. Am I gonna be able to get that to focus for you? This is gonna be ridiculous. Okay, hang on. I should have thought of this when I wanted to write it down. Okay, the Little Wolf Knits Blue Misfit. I just called it that. It doesn't have a name. Let me go get it. This is what I call the Little Wolf Knits Blue Misfit. It's kind of, it's like a, oh gosh, I don't know, a gray, bluey, almost has a little bit of greenish, like, it reminds me of like a gray day at sea, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, it's beautiful. And I initially bought it to go with this reddish also misfit. So both of these are just like trial skeins from Brie that don't have a name, don't exist as actual colorways. You can't get these, but they're pretty, right? So I bought this blue to go with this. So do I want to try and use 2 skeins? Do I want to do a 2 weeks, 2 skeins kind of challenge? Maybe I will have to post on Instagram or something and like put a poll. Figure out what I want to do. I'm very glad I pulled this. Part of me kind of wants to use both because that would be 2 skeins out of my stash or out of like this challenge, and I love that idea. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about it. I'm gonna wind up at least the blue one. We're gonna think about it. And I'll cast on in a little bit. First, I have to do some errands. First, I really need to get some lunch. And then we're going shopping for plants. Okay, I know we all want a plant haul. I know you're all wondering what I bought, right? Maybe. Anyway, I got this freaking beautiful Alocasia Poly. It is, oh my god, is that a bug? Please tell me that's not a bug. It's not a bug. I'm like really sensitive. I'm like always thinking that I might see a bug on the plant. It has, I don't know if you'll be able to see me through this. It has flowers coming in. One had already bloomed and was like wilted and actually like got bumped off in the shop. And then this one is ready to bloom, which is really cool. I'm actually like not really expecting it to bloom. I think I'm just gonna assume that the shock of it coming from its lovely warm home in a greenhouse to my house is probably gonna shock it enough that the flower will like die off and won't bloom, and that's fine. But I just couldn't handle how cool this looked. And there's actually 2 plants in the pot, so I think I'm going to split them up and pot them separately because why not? And then along the same vein of multiple things in a pot, I got this stake plant that is literally, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but I don't want to tip it too much. The pot, like, okay, you can kind of, if I show it this way, like, you can see how wide it is, and then you can see how narrow it is. It is literally busting out of this pot because it has 1, 2, 3 pups growing in here with it. So it's freaking bursting at the seams. It is ready to go. There are roots coming out of the bottom of it. It needs a new home. So I grabbed this because, I mean, basically 4 plants for the price of 1, right? So we'll see. I'm not great at growing plants, so I might kill all of them. Might kill all the pups. They might not do well growing up under my care, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Snake plants are supposed to be really easy to care for, right? I've never actually had one. I've had plenty of other plants, but never a snake plant. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that little plant interlude. In other news, I posted a reel on Instagram asking about these skeins, and basically everyone is saying that I should do both. I should do 2 skeins, 2 weeks, and come up with something. So it's gonna be fun. I don't know what it's gonna be yet. We'll see. I am really struggling with the weather right now. I have a massive migraine. My head is killing me. And I'm just kind of pushing through because I don't really have another choice at the moment. So if I'm being honest, I'm probably not going to cast out anything tonight, but I might do some yarn winding and look up some patterns if I can stand looking at a screen. We'll see. I have a video to edit tonight too, and I don't think it's going to happen because I just can't. The idea of looking at a computer screen right now is really hurting me. But anyway, I will try and think about these and hopefully get something cast on in the morning. And until then, I'm just gonna look at my pretty plant. Okay friends, it is Monday. Oops. When was the last time I talked to you? Was it Thursday? I think it might have been Thursday. And I said, I'm not gonna talk to you again tonight, I'll see you in the morning, or something like that. It's Monday. I am sitting on the floor in my yarn closet because I just filmed a stash update for the end of February and the month of March. And I'm finally here to update you on what is going on with my 1 week 1 skein challenge, which might become a 2 weeks 2 skeins challenge, because on Instagram it was unanimous. I had lots and lots of votes, lots of people giving their opinion, and every single one of them said that I should use both of the skeins of yarn. So that's what we're doing. I think it's the right decision too. I agree with everyone. And also, if you're not following me yet on Instagram, it is Blame the Knots, and I would love to see you over there. And I am trying to be better about using YouTube Shorts. It is just not something that is like, it's not a habit I've built up yet. So my autopilot, I guess, is to go and post things on Instagram and ask for opinions on Instagram, and then I forget to post them on Shorts. So I'm trying to be better, but just in case you are on Instagram and you want to follow me there, you can go check it out at Blame the Knots. I definitely do more updating there, but I know I've had some requests to keep things updated on Shorts and to do a few spoilery sneak peeks of these challenges on Shorts, and I'm gonna try really hard to be better. I totally forgot in my last vlog, and so far I have failed in this vlog, but I'm gonna try to be better. Anyway, let me tell you what I'm making. I have decided to make the half full tank by Nicole ThorsonKnits. I spent so long trying to figure out what I wanted to make. I was back and forth, color blocking, striping, knit, crochet, scarf, shawl, top, shorts. I contemplated almost everything. And that's partially why I didn't come back to update for a little while, is because I was thinking about it for so long. And then, weirdly, I went 2 full days without knitting. 2 complete days, 48 whole hours without touching any yarn. I can't even tell you the last time I did that. It felt so weird, but at the same time, I wasn't not knitting because I wasn't able to. I was not knitting because I was having a really good time doing other stuff. So I took a long weekend and hung out with my husband, and while I thought I was gonna have a lot of knitting time during that long weekend, I ended up just having so much fun hanging with him, and we did a lot of shopping, and part of it was exhausting, but I had so much fun, and we just chatted and we watched movies and we hung out with family and friends, and it was great. And I literally carried my knitting around with me the whole time, and I just never touched it. So yeah. So now, here we are, it is Monday, and last night, as we were watching Dune, we decided we really want to see the second movie, and we decided that we should rewatch the first movie beforehand. And I'm really glad that we did, because I remembered almost nothing. So we were watching Dune, and I made fantastic progress. I was able to cast on, and so this tank has a folded hem because there is a tie around the waist. So I was able to cast on and knit the whole bottom band and join it and knit about 1 inch. I'm a little bit further this morning because I did maybe like 3 rounds while I was having my coffee today, but yeah, here we go. I've decided to start with the bluey color on the bottom and then color block and have the reddish color at the top. My husband and I decided that that would probably be the one that looked best, closest to my face. He's always so helpful with my color choices. He's the best. And let's see, so far, okay, so here's what's happening. Actually, we do have a bit to talk about in terms of modification type things. The pattern calls for a long tail cast on that you then pick up to join for the band. I decided to do a provisional cast on because I am a very tight caster oner. I try every time to get looser and looser, but I'm a pretty tight cast on maker, and so I thought that with a provisional cast on I would avoid that issue and I would have a little bit more stretch, and I do feel like I have plenty of flexibility in the join now, so I'm glad I did that. And the next thing is that I didn't gauge swatch because I am very familiar with my gauge with this yarn and these needles. I'm using a US 7. I'm really familiar with my gauge, so I didn't feel like I needed to gauge swatch. However, I knew that my gauge that I know so well is not the gauge of the pattern. So I believe the gauge of the pattern is 20 stitches in 4 inches, and I have about 18 stitches in 4 inches. So I have decided to make a size smaller for multiple reasons. One, because my gauge is larger than what the pattern calls for, so therefore my finished object will end up larger than the dimensions of the pattern call for. So normally I have a 36-inch bust. Normally I would be making what this pattern designates as a medium, and that would give me 1 inch of negative ease around the bust if I had the gauge and I made it to pattern. But my gauge is bigger, so I went down to making the size small. Now, if I were to make this to pattern, that would end up giving me, I think it's like 6 inches of negative ease around the bust. Again, if made to pattern. But my top is going to be bigger because my gauge is bigger, and I know myself and my preferred fit, and I like negative ease around the bust. I am very much either like my preferred fit is 2 to 4 inches of negative ease or 4 inches of positive ease. So if I'm having something that is oversized, 4 inches of positive ease is my happy place, and I know the way that I like things with negative ease to fit, and it's usually 2 to 4 inches. So I did not do the math. I could have, but I didn't, and I'm just going with it and trusting that it's going to be fine. So I'm hoping that I end up with somewhere in the range of 2 to 4 inches of negative ease for myself. The pattern suggests 1 to 3 inches of negative ease, so we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be fine. I'm mostly positive that it is going to fit me in some way, but we'll see. We'll see what that way is. Also, I twisted, where is my beginning? I twisted my stitches when I joined in the round, and this is the second time that I have done this in like the past month, I think. I don't think I've ever in my life twisted my stitches, and then 2 times in the past 4 weeks I have twisted my stitches when I've joined in the round. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't realize it until I was basically halfway through the waistband and I was doing the purl round for the like folded part. So I just twisted my stitches back. I just twisted it and it looks kind of funny. I don't know if you'll be able to see really. There's like a little hole on the inside where it's pulling because of the twist, but on the outside you can't tell. You can't really tell. So I'm gonna use my my tail and just kind of secure things and fix that hole. Like, it doesn't matter because it's on the inside, but I'll just secure things as much as I can with the tail, and no one will ever know. We'll never tell, right? It's not like I'm putting this out on the internet where everyone can see it and know that I messed up, right? Anyway, that's all I have for an update for right now. We are in for about 8.5 inches of straight stockinette, so updates for the next little bit are probably going to be not too exciting. It's also supposed to rain all week and I have nothing exciting planned, so sorry about that. I didn't pick a great week to do this vlog, but it was the only time I could fit it into my schedule, so we're just gonna keep plugging along with the stockinette, and I will update you whenever I can and let you know if I have anything else exciting happening in my life. Probably not. So, until later. Bye. Okay, it is now Thursday. I again skipped a few days of filming. I guess this is just what I do. But sorry, I am now a few rounds away from being done with this blue color, and I have my red all caked up to go for the top, so I will be splitting or adding in this color for a few rounds and then splitting for the front and back. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a fine length. I checked my row gauge and I am decently off on row gauge. So it's okay because I tend to prefer a slightly deeper armhole on my tanks, or really on anything. I tend to prefer a deeper armhole. So my top part is going to be a little bit longer than it would be if made completely to pattern with the correct gauge. So I'm not so concerned about the bottom part potentially being a little bit shorter because the top's gonna be longer. So it's basically gonna even out. So I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna hit me at a decent spot. Yeah, I think it will hit me just fine. And yeah, we're flying along. I still don't think I'm gonna finish it in 1 week. I probably could if I pushed myself. I could probably finish this within a week. But I got some very special yarn in the mail yesterday, and can you see it? Shoot, have you been able to see it this whole time? We're gonna pretend you haven't, just in case. Anyway, I got some very special yarn, and I'm going to be working on a very special project. Don't worry. Okay, so fine. There's like one skein back there that you might be able to see, or might have been able to see while I was moving around, but there are 4 other skeins that you can't see because I'm looking at them. They're behind you. So there is a very special project, or 2 or 3, that I will be working on starting tomorrow. And this is going to take a back seat for a little bit. I will probably be saving this for TV knitting. Oops, my yarn just went rolling. Oh, and the update I know that you're all here for, actually, instead of the yarn, my plant flowered. I'm so excited. I was completely expecting it to die. I'm not great with plants, and I was totally expecting it to be stressed out by the transition from its lovely greenhouse home to my not great planty home, and it flowered. I'm so excited. Is it Saturday night? Yes. Did I completely forget that I was working on this project? Also, yes. I've been working on a couple of secret designs, which I am also vlogging, so you will get to see those, but it's going to be a little bit. But my yarn came in, and I've been working on the secret designs, and I've been so excited about them. I literally completely forgot about this project, completely forgot it even existed, completely forgot I was in the middle of filming a vlog. 100% left my brain. So I haven't touched this in days. I'm still at exactly the same spot I was at before. Nothing to update. Hopefully I will try and work on this tomorrow, maybe, I think. And yeah, make some progress on it. At least get my color change done, because then I can just be focusing on the smaller sections of the top instead of going around and around. I don't know. Oops. We're making progress. Okay, this does not look like much. Wow. So I finished the front part of the top, and I have started the back. So I am just cruising along. I had a little bit of downtime this morning so I could get this done. Honestly, this front part went so fast because by the time I got up to here, I'm only going a couple of stitches across back and forth. So these straps were super fast. And then now I have picked up for the back. I have done my decreasing, so now I have to knit straight for a little bit. And so that's gonna take a little bit more time than the front did, but we're almost there. I would say, I'm not sure how much more knitting time I have today, but honestly, I can probably get this. Oh shoot! That is the second time I've done this. Oh my gosh, hang on. Okay. Okay, I keep accidentally ripping my stitches off the needle. Did I just put them on backwards? I think I did. Whatever, it's fine. I'll figure it out. Anyway, these are just on hold. I try my hardest when I'm doing stuff like this, where you have the front and the back that you're working on. I try and just leave it all on the needle instead of putting things on hold, which can get fiddly sometimes, and sometimes you can accidentally rip your stitches off the needle, but I still do it. So I just have to do my back section. After I do the back and I join the shoulders, then I have to pick up around the neck and the armholes and do an I-cord bind off. So I don't think I'm gonna get to that today, but it should be really quick once I do. I'm not concerned about like putting it off because I think it's gonna be difficult. I just don't think I'm gonna get to it today. Today is Monday, by the way, so I think we are at, I can't even remember what day I started this on. Did I start it on Monday? Does anybody remember? I think I started it on Monday. Or Sunday? Or Saturday? Or Friday? No, it wasn't. I don't remember when I started this. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're on Monday right now. I 100% could have gotten this shirt done in 1 week if I really wanted to, because I've only worked on it for a couple of days. And then there were a solid, I think, 4 days in there where I completely forgot it existed. So I definitely could have finished it in a week, but we're just gonna keep going and see how long it takes me. I designated, like schedule-wise, I designated 2 weeks for this, figuring, you know, 2 weeks, 2 skeins. It's not gonna take 2 weeks, but we'll see how we go. I don't think I'm gonna check in again today because today is actually, what time is it? Yeah, the eclipse is starting like right now. So I'm just gonna be kind of knitting and looking outside and seeing what's going on. I have a video to edit, I have some other stuff to do, but I just kind of want to pay attention to the world around me for the rest of the day. Super quick late night check-in because I'm done-ish. I have to do the I-cord around the collar and the armholes, but I just joined the shoulders, did the 3 needle bind off, and it fits great. It's a little bit looser in the armholes than I prefer, like the tiniest bit. So I'm pretty sure that the I-cord edging is going to fix that up beautifully. It's going to make these straps lay a bit more flat as well, so I'll have more coverage in the straps, although there's really, I have no complaints. And this is basically like the perfect length. The you can't see it, that's fine. The bottom hem, where I have the folded over hem, is folding up a little bit, but I'm very confident that when I block it, it will lay flat, and it is the absolute perfect length. It fits me almost perfectly. So I think once we do the edging tomorrow, everything's gonna be great. So that's a task for the morning, and I will see you then. Okay, let's make an I-cord. I am all done. I finished all of my edging, I woven all of my ends. Confession, after I started making this, there was a little bit of time where I was like, I actually don't know if I am gonna like this. I don't know if I want it. Maybe I'll end up making it and giving it away. But I put it on and I really like it. I really like it. I think I'm gonna get a lot of wear out of it. So the only thing that we're missing is an I-cord, and it's time to get that done. So I use this I-cord maker from Tulip. It's like, oh, it's dusty in there. Whoops. I guess that's like pretty standard because of like fibers get in there, but it has like these little hooks that go up and down when you turn the handle. And I know that right now the Cordsmith is all the rage and everybody's trying that, and that's awesome. But I already had this and I like it and it works, and yeah, this is what I use. I like it. It's really fast, and let's see if I remember how to use it. I usually have to like give myself a little refresher because I tend to forget. So it says to tie a knot in the bottom so that the weight has something to hold on to. Okay. I swear I've tied a knot before. what am I doing? There we go. There's a little knot in my yarn. Now this, it comes with a weight. This, just so you know, don't drop it on your foot. It doesn't feel great. So there's this little depressor part, and I think you can see it opens up the center when I push it. So you just thread your yarn through there, and then basically you want the knot to go below the little opening so that now it's stuck and it's holding onto the knot. And the weight is connected and not going anywhere. So, I already forgot something. Let's undo that. You gotta put it through the machine first. So, there is this little tab on the outside that keeps, it's kind of just like a guide for the yarn. So the yarn goes through that and up and over the edge and then down through the center of the machine. Put that through there. Okay, there we go. Now that it's come out the bottom, I can do what I was saying before, where I put the knot in the hole. Just dropped a bunch. I got a really long tail, but that's okay. Aha. Now we're cruising. Okay. So sorry, I had my yarn split and it was like hooked around one of the little legs, and it was stuck and not working. So now I have my weight hanging down here, and I have the yarn coming through here. It's going into the hooks, and I'm just gonna cruise along, and let's do a little bit of this. See if I can get some coming out at the bottom for you so that you can see what it looks like when it's done. And then I will keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going until it's done. Okay, so here we go. You can see the I-cord is popping out of the bottom there. And here we go. So let's see. If I can get this entire thing done in less than 15 minutes, including the fact that I have stood on my yarn, I have rolled my chair over my yarn, I started it incorrectly, I stopped to measure, I got myself tangled up with split yarn. I mean, come on, if I had actually remembered how to do this the right way and done it properly, I would have been done a long time ago. I think we're probably good by now. Oh no, what happened? Here's what happened is one of the times I stood on my yarn and I pulled it and I lost one of the loops. I pulled it off of a hook. So what I'm gonna do is actually take this off of the machine, frog back to here because I just measured and where this happens is a good length, so I'm gonna frog back to here and just bind off here. But what I'm gonna do before I do that is put a little stitch marker through that stitch that fell off, so so I don't lose anything else. So to get it off, all I have to do is pull the yarn out of the hooks and then oops, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Rotate it and it will all just like come out. I know I'm not doing a good job of explaining this, but this is not a tutorial. This is just me showing you how I like to do things. And then I'm going to drop it through, and I know right now I'm still connected to the machine, but that's because some funky business happened. Cut a loop, and I could use a tapestry needle to do this, but the machine comes with a crochet hook and it's next to me and my needle would take a little bit of digging to get, so I am just going to put my hook through each of the loops. 1, 2. It's a little fiddly. This is not the way I would recommend to do it, but this is just the way I'm doing it right now because I have live stitches and I don't feel like digging for my needle. So I'm pulling my tail through those, and there we go. Now I can actually pull this tail back through my machine. And I have a pile of yarn on the ground, but I have a tie that is a pretty perfect length. There we go. I forgot that my head was not in the camera. Okay, so now last little tip is I'm going to use this is just a removable stitch marker, like a light bulb stitch marker. You can use a safety pin, you could use the plastic kind of removable stitch marker. That orange one that I just held up that I dropped on the floor is larger than the holes that I made in this, so I'm not going to be using that one. So I just put the stitch marker through the end of my I-cord, and then I'm going to find my holes. Where the heck are they? So I have my 2 holes here. Can you see those? Yeah. And I'm just going to put my stitch marker in with the I-cord, and I just scooch the fabric on as much as I can. When you get it bunched up, you give it a little tug and you have it on. You have the I-cord pulled on there. You know, I think most patterns that have I-cords in the waistband or in a band like this or elastic would usually, I feel like most patterns recommend knitting around the I-cord or the elastic, but sometimes there's a reason why you might want to put it in later, you know, sizing or yarn management or something like that. And so if you do, this is it. It's not hard. It's a little bit tedious. It can be a little bit fiddly, but it is not hard at all. So we are almost halfway there, getting this through. And yeah, I also, you know, I could have woven in my ends on the I-cord before I did this, but whatever, I'll do it later. I do also, by the way, it is a very quick and dirty video, but I have a video that I will link that is that shows how I weave in my ends on I-cord edges or in I-cords themselves. I had some people asking me how I make the edges look, or I make my ends look so clean and like there's no end there when there's an I-cord edge, and so I filmed a very quick and dirty, it's like a top-down tutorial, just a couple minutes long. So if you want to see how I like to weave in all of my ends when I have an I-cord present, I will link that for you. All right, we are back at the other hole, and now I can pull this through, and I can just kind of wiggle things so that my ends are even. I have the same length coming out of both sides. I mean, you know, this is just like if your hoodie strings get a little uneven, same thing. So here we go. Let me just tie this in a cute little bow, and we'll be on our way. Oh my god, I love it. I'm stuck. Let go. Love it. It's perfect. Look how cute that is. So yeah, I'm going to go weave these ends in very quickly, clean up the mess of yarn that is on the floor around me, and give this a block, and we're all done. I don't know if I'll come back. Yeah, I'll come back. I'll come back to show you the finished product. I do love this little product. I mean, you saw I was talking to you, I was making mistakes, I was getting my yarn tangled, I wasn't paying attention, and I ripped a stitch off, and I frogged, and I fixed it, all kinds of things, and I was still done within 15 minutes. If I don't do all of that stuff, and I just pay attention to what I'm doing, I can make an I-cord that goes around my waist in about 5 minutes, which is amazing. I love it, and it doesn't aggravate my pain, which is something that I was thinking about with the Cordsmith. I've been going back and forth on getting one myself, but I feel like it's still pretty active for the body, if that makes sense. For like every single row, you have to do all those motions. So anyway, this is what I use, this is what I love. I've heard really good things about the Cordsmith too though, so if you're interested, definitely go try one. But yeah, I wanted to show you what I do, so I'll come back when this is blocked. Okay, I have very little battery left, so we're gonna wrap this up really quickly, but I just wanted to say it's done, it's blocked, I love it. I am so happy with how this turned out. I got it done in, I think it was 10 days total. I actually worked on it a lot less than that. I probably could have finished this in a week if I wanted to, because it actually used very little yarn, considering it was DK and I was only doing half the shirt in one color, half the shirt in the other. I ended up with a pretty decent amount of yarn left, and I love it. I love it so much. I can't wait to wear it. I can't wait for a little bit of warmer weather so that I can wear this all the time. I'm definitely going to be wearing it all summer long. Highly recommend the pattern. I am loving this like deeper kind of squared neckline. I'm really liking how this looks. So thank you so much for coming along on another journey with me in my 1 week, 1 skein challenge, and let me know what you were hoping to see in the next challenge that I do. Do you want me to try and use one of the skeins that I pulled at the beginning of this video and then set aside because I didn't feel like working with them? Do we want to see a particular project? Let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you think of this, and take care of you. Until next time, I will see you then. Bye.